about to happen. Point
I
blank.
didn't say that it wasn't all about. It sounds like you don't want to have the conversation at all.
I was gonna say, yeah, it sounds
like I've had conversations with my son about things and how to treat a woman and making them happy and stuff. So that's not go there. What we're talking about is how.
What you tell them about this type of thing?
What you mean with this type of thing?
I don't know about all that. I just know that if we out here making blatant statements like, "Oh, well, this is just how men are," then we're obviously not welcome to have the conversation. If we're making the blanket statement that this is just how men are, obviously the conversation is not open to be had.
So if I want to know, you have to fix something first. Like the women,
you always gotta fix the women.
That's the easiest thing to fix.
It's not okay. Yeah, and that's my issue.
Maybe y'all got more faith in the men than I do. Maybe y'all do. Okay, I get it because I'm a man and I know how hard. I talk to men all the time and I just see this. I'm like, man, this shit ain't gonna never get better. Y'all niggas is crazy. So
because nobody tries.
Maybe y'all got more faith in them than me. Because I don't deal with men. Men ain't trying to talk to me and stuff like that. So, you know,
and they have faith in each other. He made this video trying to teach other men.
What I'm saying is we're raising the boys just like we're raising the daughters. So instead of us putting all the focus on teaching our girls, let's also teach our boys. The fact of the matter is that that's not happening.
This was a tutorial video. He's trying to teach
not happening.
Yeah, teach the boy, but some of them gonna slip through the cracks. And our daughters need to be ready for the ones that slip through the cracks. You think you about to fix all the men, and then now all of a sudden
you think you're about to get all the women?
No. That's not how it's gonna happen.
It's the same difference, but that doesn't
the same argument. Yeah, you can't say all the men and not all the women. Like
all the women are not going to be these strong, powerful women either. So then,
but y'all talking like all the women. Y'all talking like all the women are the women that's like the good woman.
I'm saying the ones that
y'all talking about 1% of good women because it's other women who likes to chase.
Let me just say this.
And that sounds like
those
women in advance. If they
it wasn't discussed. Babe, come on, stop it. Stop. I came over, you told me no, and it went down, and we married today. So stop.
Yeah, you was coerced.
Exactly, because consent can change. Consent can change. You can lose consent, you can gain consent. Why you acting like consent is determined all your life?
Why
I can say yes today and no today. All in I don't understand what's the disconnect.
That's why you advocate
say yes
so much because you into that behavior.
I'm just trying to talk about a solution. You know,
what?
My solution is to tell y'all what y'all better do. Because y'all easier to control.
Yeah. No, I didn't say easier to control. I said y'all. No,
more susceptible to suggestion.
I didn't even say that.
We're more susceptible.
Y'all more open. Y'all more open. Y'all take more information. Y'all willing to grow and learn.
That's why that manipulation is effective.
I didn't say we control y'all to. I didn't say all of that.
I think we put more. I think this is a demonstration of how we put more moral training into girls than boys. You know, and it's like men are not expected to change. And we see this in spaces all the time. Like, that's why we have all these dating coaches that talk to women. And you don't hear them talking to men. It's not like men have to change. It's like women have to figure out.
But they do want men to change. That's the whole red pill manosphere. They're wanting men to change.
But it's self-centered, though. It's like for self-preservation. It's not to be a better person, to be a better partner. It's all about like, oh, how can we change to maximize what we get out of women?
To adjust to what the women are doing to still manipulate and eventually get what we want.
Avoid certain women, which is, okay, you want to avoid certain women, that's fine. But it's never really like, it's self-centered, right? It's not, okay, I need to be a better partner. I need to be a better person, right? And I think this is like a demonstration of it. Now, I strongly put some accountability on the women, though, because men and women, I think the conversation needs to be had. We can't sweep either one under the rug. I think it's super important for a woman to learn that she decides her no, and that no needs to be no. And she needs to make sure what's communicated to the man, not play games, not, lead them on, because some women do that, or they send mixed signals. And you can always refrain from
guys
sex.
also consider a lot of shit to be lead
You can
on
always
that I
change your
don't
mind, but
agree
you
with.
have to be. You can always change your minds, but you have to be clear on what you want. Like, and not play games, because some guys won't even do that. Some guys might.
Because my perspective is, I think it's a bigger
but guys
problem.
consider playing games can be that's a very wide.
But
From
if
my
you're
perspective, I think it's a bigger problem that she would want that man to stay to make him happy than him throwing a tantrum. I think that's the bigger problem, that a dude that she barely knows, she would rather want him to stay to make him happy. Like, that's the bigger
we
problem.
We don't even know what the result was.
We didn't even see what the
result was for us to determine if she even did anything. It was just, this is what you're supposed to do. We don't even know if a woman's going to say yes.
Right.
The fact that he made this tutorial is the problem. The problem is he made a tutorial.
If he giving you a hint, if he giving you how to get a woman to say yes, that means it's working for him. So that means some women then let him stay. That's what that means.
But that goes back to what Jennifer said when she called in, and that goes back to what I said. We addressed that. We said that it goes back to socializing girls to be more suggestible in those kind of ways.
Okay.
And we need to stop doing that. I said that. I don't know why that has to go back to being like, so, but men gonna still be men though, because men ain't gonna stop being men. Like, no, we can also raise our boys that is not acceptable behavior, that you do not try to manipulate somebody into having sex with you. If somebody does not seem open, whatever, they're not ready and willing and eager, leave it alone.
I'm all down for it. I'm all down for it.
And stop acting like you entitled to something, and stop acting like somebody owes you something. We could teach our boys.
You can't even watch the movie.
You could do both. Because and only thing that I was saying, Ashley, I'm not saying that some women don't play those games and all those other things. That's the reality of the dichotomy that we live in, right? So people figure out how we interact with each other, things like that, and people, move in those ways, right? But only thing that I'm saying is that sometimes they can have a completely different understanding of what playing games or
some feel like, I took you out.
Sometimes they just feel like because you showed up, now you playing games, or you had that dress on, so you playing games. So we got to be real careful with that too, because they be having a lot of different
I was
ideas in their head on what playing games and leading them on is versus what's actually.
I was specifically talking about women who might be entertaining the idea of sex, like sending nudes or doing sexting or talking about sex and hinting at it. And then you're sending mixed signals. And me personally, I think it's just important that women know not to do that. Not just for the sake of men. I think it's unfair to the men, but I also think it's unsafe for us to do it. And I think that it could jeopardize the relationship, because a man doesn't know if you're serious about your, what you're saying or not. So I think it puts us
but
in
I still go back to what
awkward situation.
So what Miss
Protect yourself first.
Consent is not perpetual and forever. So just because you sending news or you having sexy conversations over that, just because you had sex with that person before,
if you do,
I'm gonna have sex with you all the time.
I agree with that. But I think that you have to make your intentions clear, though. Personally, that's just what I think.
I'm not disagreeing that both people should not make their intentions clear. If somebody's going into a situation and they're literally like, I know I'm not attracted to this person, I know I will never have sex with them, whatever, then make that intention absolutely clear. But I don't think that's what's happening in most cases. I think in most cases, maybe people aren't even sure if they really gonna do it or not or whatever. And like I said, you get into the situation and sometimes you feeling it and sometimes you ain't.
I think this what needs to happen. I think this what needs to happen that a lot of men do. We do this with our sons. We teach our sons how to protect themselves, right? Emotionally, and hey, don't let her do this to you. If you see this woman doing this, hey, we teach this is why we talk. And I think we don't do that with the girls. I think a lot of women expect for men to do more protecting of their feelings than themselves to protect their feelings. And that's why the comment was made that she just want him to stay be happy. No. We have to teach our girls how to protect themselves before depending on a man to protect them, because it's not going to happen. It's rare that you're going to find a man that's just going to come in the door willing to protect. I with all this respect and this humility and this pride that's not there, and in the sense of, oh no, I just got to make sure she's happy. That's rare. A lot of dudes, like you said, is conditioned to get what they want when they want it. So, and that's because it's all about protection, right? I have to do this for me. I have to do this to make myself happy. So I think if women was to have the same mentality, I think at the end of the day, it wouldn't matter what a man did. She'll still be okay because she still has that confidence and that high self-esteem to say no, bye, deuces. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like, I understand, like, he was bogus. He tried to manipulate her, but at the same sense, if she's giving in to that type of behavior, then that's
a problem.
The other type of behavior she giving in, because that was like really, really, really low. That was really low.
Can I say this though? It's already so many rule books and pamphlets and religious doctrine and so many things telling Black women what they need to do and what they got to do to protect themselves. And I get it. I get the whole concept of, okay, you can only control yourself. You can only control your responses. Okay, cool. So when I respond assertively and say it's not going to happen, we're not having sex, okay? And then I'm saying this over multiple dates to multiple different people, and I guess right now I'm talking to the manosphere. Please do not start making statements that Black women are difficult because I'm being assertive about what I want. Yeah. See, another form of manipulation is really trying to paint a picture of someone based on what they desire. Like I told y'all, I think in the previous show, I'm 40, and what I'm learning is that if I say no and somebody asks me why, and I say because I don't want to, that's a good enough reason as any. Period, point blank. I don't have to explain my no's. But see, there's a group of men, and we know who they are. They want us to just constantly explain why we're not a certain way in certain situations. So, Darwin, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. But these same men come back and then they make these statements about Black women being difficult and we're not agreeable and we're not approachable. We're not this and that. But y'all write 500 copies of 6,000 different types of doctrine telling us what to do to protect ourselves from you all who we're your protectors and we want to be your leaders. But by the way, we're manipulative, we're wolves, and we out to get you in the bed. Like, make it make sense for once in a time. Like, I'm dead serious because
you saying, but
I get it. I mean,
why they say we difficult, because you just said if I have to keep telling him no, then that's your problem. You have to keep telling him no. Men, if a woman is trying to get money up out of us, and we see that on the first date, like, man, this our last date right here. We ain't gonna be no more chances for me to tell you no. It's over with. That's the thing. Like, you're not about to keep on trying date after date, get money out and money. I'm not about to do it. Bye, kick rocks.
But how prevalent is that behavior?
Huh? What? Huh?
How prevalent is that behavior?
Right.
If you went on 10 dates, out of those 10 dates, how many of those women are gonna come out asking you for money? If you went on, it ain't
gonna. No. It's about if I see some things in her that I don't want, and I'm not about to keep on tolerating it.
I understand, but
I physically gotta say no or not. How prevalent
is that behavior? What I'm saying is, if you're constantly being told that men are just gonna be men, this is what men want, this is a man after, and every single man, like, so you already have in your mind, this is who men are. So that's not going to be something out of the norm when you're dating for men to be asking for sex. You're not going to be like, this is crazy. You're going to feel like that's something that just par for the course when dealing with men. If you're constantly told that this is what they want.
Yeah, so stop telling women that.
My final thought, Ashley, on this video is that it's dangerous because he's teaching men something that needs to stop. And then this whole narrative of, okay, we trying to hold him accountable because he made the video. I didn't see a Black woman named as the author of this video. I didn't see no assistance from a Black woman. But what do we initially do when a guy puts up a video like this? We start telling Black women what they need to do, and it's time out for that. Like, this guy, like, somebody need to hold him accountable. Like, this is horrible. Like, you don't teach men how to engage with the woman sexually by using forms of coercion and manipulation. No, if she wants to have sex with you, she will have sex with you. If she does not want to have sex with you, she will not have sex with you. The end of story. What you do outside of that, you what he decides to do, that's what he decides to do. I'm not responsible for that man's behavior, me being the woman in this equation. he got to own some responsibility. Like, seriously, he got to own some responsibility, and we got to start, granted, I can't control him. I can't tell him you don't need to be doing this, that, and the third. But seriously, come on. There was no woman in that video. He directed that video to men. So where are the men? Where are the men who gonna stand up and say, "Hey, bruh, you wrong for that, and that's not how you gonna do that"? No. What do we do in our culture? Black women need to protect themselves, ladies. This is for you. This is a form of protection. This ain't got nothing to do with me. You need to tell your brother to quit lying, manipulating, and doing all these types of different things to try to get me in the bed. You need to hold him accountable. Because you already, like I said, you done already wrote 6,000 books telling me how I need to be a black woman in the first place. Now I got one more thing to do. Now I got to protect myself from you. Why can't somebody hold you back and say?
You stopped listening to me a long time ago.
But y'all are not these dumbfounded creatures.
We wouldn't listen to you either, Darwin. What?
Y'all are not. Let me tell you something. 80% of my clientele right now are men, and y'all are not these dumbfounded creatures that don't have the ability to understand that change is a process, to understand that if I change my thoughts, I can change my behavior. I've seen it happen. Okay, men can change if they choose to change. Oh, yeah. All behavior is a choice. I'm gonna say that again. All behavior is a choice. No, and when a man chooses to behave this way, it ain't got nothing to do with black women trying to swoop in, singing our old Negro spirituals and trying to teach them a better way and protect our young girls because we the nurturers of the earth or whatever. No, because if we start doing that, then that builds on that narrative of, but she's so disagreeable and she's not saying yes and blah, 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 blah. Make it make sense. So the way you make it make sense is you hold yourself accountable for what you do and stop putting the burdens of the black community on black women, telling us, oh, well, we need to do this, or we need to withhold this, or we need to start changing our responses. When the men gonna change their responses? Because you human just like me, okay? You know your thoughts control your behavior, so change your thoughts, change your belief system as it shapes around sex and women, and then you'll have a better outcome. Hold him accountable.
You trying to manipulate us into changing?
I'm telling you what changes. Behavior is a choice. That's what I'm telling you.
I didn't play.
Yes. Yes. So
I understand everything, but you have at some point, y'all. I understand y'all. Why y'all want y'all expectations be so high on certain things?
It's not high expectations.
Not from us, but
it's not high expectations.
Y'all be tolerating. Y'all be tolerating the most bull crap, and then when we see shit working, when we see shit working for the next man, we be like, yeah. And then once it worked for us once, we gonna keep doing it. So my thing is, y'all need to set y'all standards a little bit higher.
Y'all are men, Darwin. Y'all are men. Y'all are not children. Your frontal lobe has already developed. Your frontal lobe past the age of 25 has developed, meaning that you know how to make choices and decisions. But you got to start thinking more with your rational mind versus your emotional mind. The emotional mind controls the wrong head. But y'all use that emotional mind as a front to say, this is how men are and this is how we're going to be. When y'all out here running businesses, y'all out here raising children, y'all out here building churches, getting into churches, telling us what to do, okay, in government. You organizing all these different areas, but then when it comes to sex, oh, we don't know what to do. Come guide us. Come hold our hands. No, you're not. We're doing that. No, take responsibility. He was wrong for that video. It was a form of manipulation. It was coercion. Okay, he knew his thought pattern behind making that video. It's not something that just happens. Netflix and chill is a hashtag for a reason. It's a hashtag for a reason. Because
it really don't mean chill. I promise you it don't.
It don't mean chill. I understand that completely.
Okay, then. So
all behavior is a choice.
Women do not invite a guy over to Netflix and chill if you think you about to Netflix and chill. It's not. It's called. Yeah. He about to try to have sex with you. I'm just letting you know.
My second date was VCR and chill.
Why can't I Netflix and chill and then we do it later? Why it gotta be before the
movie? Exactly.
Learn that person first. Then go on some dates, get to know him a little bit better, and then you can find out if you can Netflix and chill at your house with him. Don't just
Darwin.
Like, I want to
Darwin, you see this?
Also went to his house on the second day.
No.
What do you
mean? See this, Darwin? Darwin, you see this?
Y'all, we gotta move on.
It's a mirror. You see this? That's what I need men to do. Like, y'all want to see some stuff change? Start looking in here. You see that? Start there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just because you want to Netflix and chill.
Yeah, we gotta move on. Y'all. All right. That was the good one. I just hope that men, I hope we can start to have more of these conversations so that men see that behavior is not okay. But I also hope that we are teaching our daughters that it's okay to say no, and that it's all, and that we got to be firm in our no's, and we have to teach them to recognize situations like that where they're being manipulated,
and that somebody gonna want you who's worthy after you say no.